What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Miniklin video. Today, we're gonna be reacting to what happens to KK members in prison. Chat, say hi, YouTube.
2015, Dylan Roof wanted to spark a race war by slaughtering 9 black churchgoers, but that plan backfired when he was caught and condemned to death.
I remember this guy. I didn't remember his name though.
Now he faces a new hell in prison, where white supremacists are outnumbered and outcast.
In Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay, that's low-key racist. Okay, that was low-key racist. Look what he said. Really think about what he just said.
Now he faces a new hell in prison, where white supremacists are outnumbered and...
Why? Because they're just all black? Is that what you're trying to say? Like prisons are just filled with black people, bro? It's kind of racist, bro.
Outcast.
Deputies in Charleston, South Carolina say a fellow inmate assaulted the suspect in the deadly Charleston church shooting. Charleston County officials say the assault on Dylan Roof happened outside his cell this morning.
Why do I feel like
this
everyone
is what happens to KKK members in prison?
Why do I feel like they all come from the same family tree, bro? Like, I'm not even trying, except from this guy. This looks kind of Mexican. But like, why do I feel like when they all look like they came from the same... You get what I'm saying, chat? Why is it when I think of KKK members, this is how I picture them? That's not Fuzi.
Larry Webster.
Okay. Larry
July
Webster.
19th, 2000, a federal jury in Houston, Texas, awarded damages totaling $55,000 to a member of the KKK who had been brutally beaten by black prisoners in a shared cell. But why did that happen? 1993, Larry Webster, 42, was arrested in Galveston, Texas, and sent to the county jail to wait for a trial on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Larry wasn't just any regular offender. This was a man of the Ku Klux Klan, or KKK for short, a notorious white supremacist organization that has a real dark and troubling history in the U.S.
Chat, is there still people a part of the KKK in 2025? Yes. Yes. Look, it's us. No, bro, can we... No, chat, seriously. Can we stop with that? It's not funny. Like, we're not the KKK. We're KKG. Clint's the Clan gang, okay? Or Clint's the Cult gang, okay? We're not a white supremacist group. We're not that. I'm black. We can't even do that.
U.S. Now, the KKK was established right after the end of the American Civil War.
You had the costume. I was dressed like a ghost for Halloween, bro. Stop making it something it isn't.
As a social organization for Confederate veterans, but it quickly transformed into a supremacist group dedicated to upholding racial segregation and white power. Since then, the group had carried out despicable acts of violence and racism, all in the name of purifying American society. Their targets go from Africans to Asians, Americans, Latinos to Jews, Muslims, homosexuals, atheists, and...
Wait, what did he say?
Now, the KKK was established right after the end of the American Civil War, formed as a social organization for Confederate veterans, but it quickly transformed into a supremacist group dedicated to upholding racial segregation and white power. Since then, the group had carried out despicable acts of violence and racism, all in the name of purifying American society. Their targets go from Africans to Asians, Americans, Latinos to Jews, Muslims, homosexuals.
So let me get this straight. Okay, so let me get it straight. The KKK just hates anyone that isn't white. It's just anyone. At first, my whole life living, wasn't it just black people? Like, well, that was the thing. When did it become homosexuals, atheists, Jews, Muslims, like anything that wasn't white? Like, I just thought they hated black, basically. Okay, so they're just like, also they say it's purifying. Like, do they actually, what type of, you know what,
atheists, and the list goes on. So you can probably imagine prison wouldn't be a walk in the park for Mr. Larry Webster. His wonderful tattoos were bound to make him a prime target. Webster asked to be placed in administrative segregation for his own safety. However, that request was denied due to overcrowding, and he was instead placed in a cell with black prisoners. As soon as they spotted his tattoos, they immediately recognized him as a Klansman. After being kicked in the face, he would suffer various injuries to his body, forcing him to go to the ER. Webster then decided to sue Galveston County. During the 4-day civil trial, Webster remarkably...
For what? What are you suing for?
Represented himself in court. He argued in his lawsuit that he was placed in a cell with black inmates although his Klan
Are you
background
serious?
was well known to jailers, and that he was treated harshly for his beliefs.
So let me get this straight. You sued them. You sued because you were placed into a cell with black inmates. What?
Now get this, in the end, he managed to win that case.
What?
The jury gave him $5,000 in actual damages and $50,000 in punitive damages. The verdict also held Galveston County.
So this just ran off and made 55K. Yo, are you serious? Yo, America. America. Hello?
County Sheriff's Major Eric Nevelow, who commanded the jail, and Sergeant Leslie Hobbs, who ran the inmate system, liable for the damages. The jury found them negligent in their treatment of Webster, who was so obviously at risk due to his white supremacist beliefs. Don Glewoski, the lawyer representing Galveston County, praised Webster's legal efforts, saying,
"He did a great job of representing himself. That's the first case I've lost, and I've been practicing for 17 years.
Despite this win, though, he was still sentenced to 10 years in prison for the kidnapping and robbery charges. Next up on this
Are you serious?
list, we have someone who proves that the danger of the KKK lurks not only amongst the inmates in prison, but also among correctional officers themselves.
Like, the reason why I don't get the point of the KKK is because didn't them motherfuckers basically just want to kill and just do anything bad to people that just weren't white? Bro, in this day and age, you'll go in jail, right? And in jail are probably going to be white, all types of races. You're going to get up. Why is the group even a thing at this point? Like, what is the point? In big 2024, where you can't get away with that that much, even though the first basically kind of did. He's still got his ass beat. Like, what is the point?
Thomas Jordan Driver. April 2nd, 2015. Authorities charged 2 state prison guards and a former co-worker who were identified as KKK with plotting to kill a former black inmate. It was all because of a fight that occurred between this inmate and one of the guards, Thomas Jordan Driver. The other guard involved was David Elliott Morin, and the third man, Charles Thomas Newcomb, had also worked.
Yeah, he looks racist, bruh. This guy looks like he wants to say it.
As a prison guard, but was eventually fired. Late 2014, Driver told the others that the inmate in question bit him during a brawl at the Department of Corrections facility in Lake Butler, in this attempt to possibly give him AIDS and hepatitis.
What?
Driver was fuming as he ranted to his friends about that fight, being bitten, and the 9 months of blood work he had to endure. He would show him a photo of this inmate who had been let out of prison on supervised release, and told him that he wanted the guy 6 feet under. Now here's where things get really wild. All 3 of them got caught, thanks to an FBI informant who pretended to be on their side. This informant convinced them that he could help them get rid of their target for good. They talked about injecting insulin into him after kidnapping him from his Palatka home, or using a 9mm to just take him out if that didn't work.
Cause he's black? Am I tripping? Is that Breaking Bad? I don't know, bro. I'm not paying attention to the clips.
Question just between you and me. A bullet to that guy.
Of course he sounds like that. We gonna get him. We gonna take a bullet to his head. We gonna kill him. Let's catch him.
Yes. Satisfactory. Sounds good. Alright.
As part of the FBI's plan to apprehend the
They hired a hitman, bro. I can't with white people, bro. No, shout out to white people, bro, but I know it's not all white people, but the that be racist. Is it really that deep?
suspects and strengthened the case against him. They provided the informant with a burner phone containing a manipulated photograph of the inmate, making it appear as if he had been fatally shot.
I'm not gonna lie to all KKK members out there, to any people that are against black people or you don't like them, I got news for you, bro. Like, the world is never going to be completely white. You might as well just give up trying, bro. I promise you. Got Gen 5s with switches now. It's over, bro. Like, it's just over, bro. Like, take one trip down to Atlanta. It's pretty much GG. I'm just being honest. It's never gonna work out. You can be as racist as much as you want. You can form groups as much as you want. This is not the 1800s or whenever this shit was happening, bro. This is in 2024 going on 5 when have blicks and be shooting for fun, okay? And it just gets worse. And I'm saying that as it mainly starts in America. It's America where them blicks are legal. So like at this point, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish at this point? It just might be that deep if they hire a hitman. Like what?
Shot. The informant showed the picture to all 3 men, capturing their victorious reactions on a secret recording.
This nigga looks Mexican.
Each suspect smiled and expressed their delight.
He was allowed a part of the team, bitch? Like what?
Words carefully documented by the informant. However, it was Driver who seemed to be the happiest.
That what you wanted?
Oh, yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. Very much so.
Okay.
Once the FBI had their incriminating evidence, they had arrested the 3 KKK members, charging them with conspiracy to commit murder. In response to these events, Department of Corrections Secretary Julie Jones emphasized
they messed with a YN they cooked. Exactly.
Her department's unwavering stance against racism and prejudice of any kind, stating that they have zero tolerance for such behavior.
The actions of these individuals are unacceptable and do not in any way represent the thousands of good, hardworking, and honorable correctional officers employed at the Department of Corrections,
Jones said. 2017, Thomas Jordan Driver, David Elliott Moran, and Charles Thomas Newcomb were all convicted of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Thomas pled guilty and was sentenced to 4 years in prison.
4 years?
David and Charles, on the other hand, pled not guilty, but were eventually found guilty on the same charge and were given 12 years in prison.
Nigga, give him life. The
Thomas Terrence. 1968, Thomas Terrence was arrested after a fierce shootout.
Nigga, is that Drake? Why you look like Drake a bit?
Thomas Terrence. 1968, Thomas Terrence was arrested after a fierce shootout with police during a failed assassination attempt on a prominent Jewish Mississippian. He was given 30 years in prison, but there, he discovered a path to redemption. You see, half a century ago, Thomas felt like the country was changing for the worse. The civil rights movement infuriated him. His hatred of African Americans and Jewish people led him straight into the arms of the Ku Klux Klan. There was one more person who shared the same beliefs and harbored the same hatred as Terrence, and her name was Kathy Ainsworth. According to police sources and numerous acquaintances of the two, older fanatics had influenced Ainsworth and Terrence with propaganda and hate material that came from organizations in Arizona.
Chat, when I was a kid, bro, I used to see if you are black, if you guys have a lot of you guys aren't educated, or a lot of you guys maybe you guys have what? Who here has watched Roots, bro? If you're black, you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever watched Roots, chat? I want to see if anyone here has ever watched Roots. Whether it's school, whether your parents told you, chat. Has anyone here actually ever watched Roots, bro? I'm black, but I ain't watch it. I know it though. Chat, I'm telling you this right now, bro. If you watch Roots, I'm telling you, it's like, it really shows how were really slaves back then. And I remember watching, my mom made me watch that shit when I was literally like 9. But we also watched it in school, when it like high school or secondary school, like in year 8. But I remember watching it when I was like 9, and I remember the KKK, like they showed the KKK, or like they were like burning the holes in the mosques and shit, and they were like on horses and shit. And that I'm telling you, that used to scare the shit out of me. I used to see the KKK with the masks on and shit. That used to scare it generally used to scare me when I was a kid. I used to basically ask my mom, was like, oh my god, will they come for me? Like, bro, like now when, bro, I'm telling you this right now, as a grown fucking man, bro, if I lived in America and I seen the KKK, switch! I'm switching them. Okay. Luckily, I don't live in America. I don't think the KKK is in the UK. If they are, GG's. But I have never seen the KKK on my 26 years of life on this planet. So,
California, New Jersey, and many other states. They also started receiving training in firearms and
Merry Switchmas.
explosives, getting ready to carry out a wicked plan. May 28, 1968, Ainsworth and Terrence participated in the bombing of the congregation.
Clint, you wear glasses, we know you ain't hitting shit. Does that not make, that makes no sense. That means I would hit because I can see. Like, what?
Beth Israel. A month later, the duo drove to the home of Meyer Davidson, a Jewish community leader, planning to place a bomb on the side of his house below where they believed his bedroom to be.
What?
Ainsworth waited in their car while Terrence attempted to blow up Davidson's home with that homemade bomb.
So let me get this. Okay, I know it's not funny, but bro, is it really that deep that you're making a homemade bomb to get rid of a nigga, bro? Like, my town is where the leader of the KKK used to live, and I never seen any hint of them. That's because them niggas they have a scheduled time, bro. They have a meeting every like at 11 p.m. at night, probably 11 to 1, bro. It's not that deep. Like, that's what I'm saying. This nigga made a bomb to get him out of here.
Consisting of 29 sticks of dynamite.
Like, what the
Unknowns to them,
Are
there
you
was already a
serious?
trap in place by the FBI and local police to catch him. A bloody shootout occurred. Ainsworth was shot in the neck and died immediately. Terrence survived numerous wounds and was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Now, the prosecution had sought a death sentence under a rarely used state law regarding the criminal use of explosives.
Never that deep.
However, the jury declined to make a decision and left it to the judge, who spared Terrence's life. 1969, Terrence escaped from prison with 2 other convicts, Malcolm Houston, who was serving a 15-year for bank robbery, and Louis Shadowan, who was serving a 2-year for child molestation. Shadowan was killed in a shootout with the FBI, while Houston and Terrence later surrendered. Terrence spent 5 years in max security for the escape. Now, during that time, he read Mein Kampf and other books that fueled and furthered his worldview.
Of course.
He would start also reading Plato and Aristotle, and then some scripture. That's when he became convinced that he had gone drastically astray. He became a born-again Christian, renouncing his racist views. 1976.
Born-again Christian. I ain't gonna say. Miniklin, what's up, ex-dumb?
With the support of a Jewish community leader who believed in his redemption, Terrence secured an early release from prison after 8 years behind bars. He eventually obtained a seminary degree and a doctorate, pastored a non-denominational church in
Miniklin's great-grandfather. Yo, you know, I asked my mom this, bro. Like, generally. Like, chat. So I'm gonna ask you, is there a possibility, like, my great, like, my ancestors were slave owners, bro? Because I'm mixed, bro. So does that mean there's a possibility, bro? Is it GG for me, bro? Like, I really had to think about it. I want to go do one of those things where I see. Because that's crazy. How the is it GG's? Bro, because that's wrong, maybe? I don't want to be... No, I don't want to know that I have ancestors that used to give them the watish with the whip, bro. Or was running around with cloaks on their head, bro. I don't want to know that. I don't know if I want to know that. I'm keeping it real. Because, chat, you need to understand, as a mixed person, that means I have ancestors that are probably like slaves and ancestors that are slave masters, bro. Hopefully not. I hope not. I don't think so, bro.
D.C. for 5 years and spent the past 25 years working at the evangelical C.S. Lewis Institute in Washington. Today, he's a soft-spoken, mannerly 77-year-old who picks his words deliberately.
He's still alive.
As he talks about the rise of hate crimes and bias in America and actively advocates against racism.
Oh, so he's reformed. Like what?
Edgar Ray Killen.
This got Killen in his name. GG.
1964. Edgar Ray Killen planned and directed the murders.
Oh, he looks like a racist. He looks like he wants to say it. He looks like he's gonna say it right now, bro. Look at him. Boy! That looks like what he would say, bro. Real shit. Like, you know that's coming out his mouth. Huge fan of your work, boy. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Davin, I appreciate that, but don't call me boy, bro. I'm not no little boy, respectfully, bro. I'm a grown-ass man, 26 years old, bro. Don't ever disrespect me like that, real shit.
Of 3 civil rights activists. He was found guilty in state court of 3 counts of manslaughter and sentenced to 60 years in prison. Born in Philadelphia, Killen was the
Just kill him at that point.
owner of a local sawmill and a former
Actually, chat, I don't think niggas should get the death penalty, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I think niggas should rot in prison. Death is too peaceful for you. Like, that's too easy. That shit is too easy. You need to live in hell. You need to live in hell, bro. You ain't dying. I don't think niggas should be getting the death penalty. They should stay in that prison until niggas kill them in that bitch. That's how I see it.
Unsuccessful candidate for sheriff until he met Sam Bowers, the co-founder of the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, who appointed him Kleagle, or Clavern recruiter and organizer, for the Neshoba and Lauderdale County Klan. He zealously performed his duties, as evidenced by the extreme measures he was willing to undertake when the Freedom Summers Project took.
See, like when I was a kid, this shit used to scare me. Like I used to see clips like this, and it used to actually give me nightmares. I don't know why. Maybe it was just me, bro. Maybe I was just a pussy. But this shit actually used to scare the f out of me when I was a kid. You don't know more though.
Place. June 1964. Freedom Summer was a volunteer campaign launched in the U.S. attempting to register as many African-American voters as possible in Mississippi. Blacks had been restricted from voting since the turn of the century.
I feel like in this day and age, everything is just memed now. So it's not scary no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I saw the KKK running up my road, I would probably laugh and post it and talk about it the next stream. Like, I feel like shit is just very heavy. I feel like things in this day and age is just very memed. Like, I don't think niggas... Like, you need to understand, chat, no one in this generation takes anything serious no more. Like, my mom told me World War III is gonna start, and I was like, alright, bro, if it happens, it happens. GG's, we're getting bombed. Like, I don't take anything serious. And I don't know if that's bad or good. Like, they're talking about, oh, they're gonna recruit you, I guess. Yeah, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're gonna have to be in the front lines. I guess. Like, I'm not fighting for no damn country, bro. I'd rather pretend to be real shit.
Due to barriers to voter registration and other laws. The project would set up dozens of freedom schools, freedom houses, and community centers, such as libraries, in small towns.
Chat, we live in a generation where World War III will be going on and a nigga will IRL stream it. Because they know that shit will get numbers. Like, I would IRL stream that shit. That shit would be hilarious. It wouldn't be hilarious, because, you know, we could get blown up. But, like, if we gotta die, I might as well just go out with a bang.
Throughout Mississippi to aid the local black population. Now, during that time, James Chaney, 21, a young black man from Meridian, Mississippi, and Andrew Goodman, 20, and Michael Schwerner, 24, two Jewish men from New York, were actively involved in the campaign. However, their efforts were tragically cut short when they were wrongfully arrested, brutally ambushed, and ultimately murdered. After receiving a message from Cecil Price, the deputy sheriff of Neshoba County and a member of the Klan, Killen arranged a meeting with a group of fellow Klan members. During this gathering, he shared the details of a sinister plan he had devised with Price to ruthlessly end the lives of the three imprisoned men. The plan was set in motion when
So let me get this straight. There was a time where, like, nigga, the Jews were just... Yo, the Jews were our niggas then. We both were struggling. If you really think about it, chat, if you really think about it, the Jews were with us, right? Like, cause realistically, bro, them niggas hated all of us. Why they hate us Jews? I mean, look at the Mr. H man, bro. That nigga damn near had his own way with them Jews, like the slaves. Like, can we be real?
Price gave the order to release the men. As they drove out of town in their car, they were suddenly pulled over and kidnapped.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They were driven to a different location and shot at close range.
Yo!
Meanwhile, Edgar Killen was busy solidifying his alibi by attending a wake for his late uncle at a nearby funeral home. Little did he know the FBI received a tip from a Klan informant revealing Killen's involvement in that murder. Now, Killen was one of
Nigga, the FBI was working with the Klan? Am I tripping? Is that what the f I just heard?
19 men arrested for the murder of 3 civil workers. However, Killen's trial ended in a hung jury, with the jurors deadlocked 11-1 in favor of conviction. The prosecution decided not to retry Killen, and he was released, spending 40 years as a free man.
What?
2005, due to community...
So what I'm basically hearing is majority of the people that were in the KKK get let off. Really?
pressure. Edgar Ray Killen was retried and finally convicted for the murders.
Oh, okay.
He was given 3 20-year sentences,
Oh, yeah, GGs.
one for each manslaughter conviction. For Killen,
Never
who
mind.
went to prison at age 80, the adjustment to not being in control appears to have been a tough one.
Not gonna lie, going to prison for 80, just say your goodbyes, nigga. You're just never, you're dead. It's over, bro. You go in 80, bro, you might as well it's OV, bitch.
He was punished many times for hiding tobacco products in the seat cushion of the wheelchair he used, and also for disrespecting the...
This nigga's just using any clips. This is a Breaking Bad clip. Like, what is this YouTube? What is this video?
CEOs time and time again, especially females and African Americans. 2013, Killen's most serious offense in prison was when he confronted corrections officer Ravonda Johnson, who went into his cell to collect multiple food trays that should have been tossed out. Killen kept hurling racial slurs and curses at her, and even attempted to physically attack her. Johnson then sprayed his face with a chemical agent to get him away. Killen was then sent to solitary and was allowed to wash off that chemical agent.
Like, how you gotta be a real hateful ass nigga, bro. If you are facing 320 years in jail and you still hate black people, bro. You don't want to like let that sink in. You don't want to redeem yourself that bad, bro. Like, nigga, your life's done. Give it up. You might as well just try and get along with at this point. It's over.
But declined.
This nigga's still trying to like bite with his dentures and shit. Like, give it up.
Any other medical attention. January 11th, 2018, Killen died at the Mississippi State Penitentiary 6 days before his 93rd birthday.
Smoking on that pack!
Frazier Glenn Miller Jr. April 13th, 2014, a horrific shooting occurred at the Overland Park Jewish Community Center in Kansas, resulting in the tragic loss of 3 lives. The gunman, Frazier Glenn Miller
This photo just says it all.
Jr. was arrested and ultimately sentenced to death. Miller, a native of North Carolina, dropped out of high school and joined the U.S. Army, where he served 20 years and rose to the rank of Master Sergeant. He served 2 tours in South Vietnam during the Vietnam War. Now, Miller was introduced to white racialist politics when he read for the first...
Like, look how stupid these niggas look. Like, really think about it. These niggas is literally like wearing hats, bro. Like they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, bro. Like this nigga's got a shield, bro. This nigga thinks he's in World of Warcraft. Like, bro, buddy, you have a shield. Like I can't. Do you see what I'm saying, chat? Like back in the day, this shit was scary. I can't take this shit serious. These niggas are like idiots. Like, bro, what is this?
First time, the Thunderbolt, a racist newspaper given to him by his father. According to Miller, within 2 minutes of browsing through that tabloid, he had found a new home within the American white movement. 1979, he joined the National Socialist Party of America, a neo-Nazi group that attacked and killed marchers associated with the Communist Workers' Party in Greensboro. The following year...
Like, imagine, chat, just imagine, you're in your 60s, right? And this is how you dress. Like, bro's cosplaying at this point. Like, you're 60 years old. Go into a retirement home. Like, what are you doing? Is he in a wheelchair? Like, what is this? Chat, let's just be real. Let me give you a realistic scenario, right? KKK versus them YNs. Who's winning? Like, bro, they come running down the... Like, they're on a horse with a shield. And then you got niggas with with legit switches. Bro. They're finished. Like, what type of shit is this?
Year they kicked him out of the army for distributing racist propaganda. 1980, Miller founded the Carolina Knights of the KKK.
Like Carolina Knights, bro. Look at this. What the? This literally looks like a I don't even know. This just looks...
Later developing into the White Patriot Party, or WPP. Now, the WPP was pro-apartheid, adhered to the racist Christian identity theology, and openly advocated the establishment of an all-white nation in the territory of the American South.
Like, just chat, imagine, like, these niggas could walk down your street, bro.
April 6th, April's apartheid adhered to the racist Christian identity theology and openly advocated.
Like, imagine these niggas walking down O Block. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, you're not making it out alive. Like, I'm just keeping it real, bro.
Advocated the establishment of an all-white nation in the territory of the American South. April 6th, 1987. A typewritten letter titled Declaration of War, signed by Miller, was mailed to 5,000 recipients. According to him, this war was against Jews, people of color, immigrants, the LGBT, abortion supporters, and church-state separation.
So now we're coming at abortion supporters. Like, we're just targeting anyone at this point.
They searched his house
Like,
shortly after that declaration, and he was arrested when a cache of weapons was discovered inside.
I wouldn't be surprised in 2024 they've added furries or something to their list. Or Minecraft fans or some shit. They probably add something because they're bored.
The sheer amount of weapons he had was enough to equip a small army, including explosives, dynamite, hand grenades, rifles, shotguns, crossbows, and approximately half a ton of ammunition. This man served 3 years in federal prison following his conviction for weapons violation.
3 years!
And also engaging in paramilitary activities. After getting out of jail, Miller had jumped back into the white supremacist movement by publishing a racist pro-apartheid newsletter. In this newsletter, he didn't hold back in criticizing anything and everything that didn't align with his white Christian ideology. Miller would try several times to dip his toes into politics but found little to no support. But all this time he spent as a free man, he was a ticking time bomb, and one day that bomb exploded. April 13th, 2014, Miller killed 3 people outside of the Jewish Community Center and the Village Shalom Care Center in Overland Park, Kansas. Miller was identified as the shooter and promptly arrested. Minutes after his arrest, Miller shouted "Heil Hitler" while in the backseat of a police car. In a series of telephone interviews,
are you serious?
Miller, who was suffering from
Yo, why do they keep putting? What is this nigga? Nigga, is this a Hector nigga from Breaking? What is the correlation for him being here? What is this?
advanced lung disease, said that he was convinced he was dying at the time of the shootings and
wanted to make damn sure he killed some Jews before he died.
Oh.
But as it would turn out, the 3 victims he killed were all Christians. During his trial, Miller shouted,
like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, killing is bad, obviously, but how you not even get the right target, bro? Like, nigga, just die at that point, bro. Just leave this earth.
Did anti-Semitic rants on multiple occasions. The day the jury found Miller guilty of capital murder and guilty on all 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder, Miller shouted while giving the Nazi salute from his wheelchair in the Johnson County courtroom. November 15th, when the judge sentenced him to death, he screamed,
"One day my spirit will rise from my grave and y'all will know that I was right."
I guess.
May 3rd, 2021, Miller died.
Oh shit, 2021.
Died in prison at the age of 80. The cause of his death hasn't been identified yet, but the Kansas Department of Corrections stated that preliminary assessment indicates the death was due to natural causes. Henry Francis Hayes. March 21st, 1981. Henry Francis Hayes and another KKK member ruthlessly beat and killed Michael Donald, a 19-year-old African-American, and hung his body from a tree. Henry was executed for his role in this heinous crime. During that same year, Josephus Anderson, an African-American charged with the murder of a white policeman in Birmingham, Alabama, during an armed robbery, was tried in Mobile, where the case had been moved in a change of venue. The first trial of Anderson ended with a deadlock of a mixed white-black jury. A meeting was immediately held in Mobile after the trial ended. Members of Unit 900 of the United Klans of America, or UKA, Alabama Realm, which is part of the KKK, complained that Anderson wasn't convicted since the jury had African-American members. Benny Jack Hayes, Henry's father and second highest ranking official in the UKA, reportedly said,
"If a black man can get away with killing a white man, we ought to be able to get away with killing a black man."
No, I'm not gonna lie. Nigga, you get away with doing that anyway. What are you preaching? I ain't gonna lie, bro. Listen, these niggas get away with that shit today. Today, chat. Today. Chat, when have you ever seen a black man get away with killing a white man, bro? Realistically. And roles reverse. When have you ever seen, like, how many times do you see a white motherfucker get away with killing a black nigga, bro? Like, let's be honest. Because you preaching, bro.
March 20th, 1981. Anderson's case was retried, but again, the jury couldn't reach a verdict. Now, following a...
Nigga, it could be self-defense and them niggas still don't get away with it. Like, it could be self-defense, chat, and they still don't get away with it. Like, what is this guy talking about?
Meeting held together the same day. Henry Hayes, along with James Tiger Knowles, both drove around Mobile looking for a black person to attack, armed with a gun and equipped with a rope. While cruising...
Like, how bored do you have to be, bro? Just go play bingo or something, bro. You niggas is way too old. Niggas driving around in their Chevy with a Draco. Like, bro, go to bed. Like, what are you talking about? No, they even got a Draco. They got one of the muskets. They driving around in a musket in a Chevy. Like, what? Like, go to bed. Do something. Go your ugly ass wife.
Through one of Mobile's most predominantly black neighborhoods.
Or Alabama, bro. Go one of your sisters or some shit.
They spotted Michael Donald walking home after he bought a pack of cigarettes at a nearby gas station for his sister. Without any link to the Anderson case or even...
When was this, bro? See, this is what I'm saying. In 2020, I'm telling you, 2024, nigga goes to a gas station and these niggas pull up. Them, I'm telling you, them young niggas strapped. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, you're not getting away with this in 2024.
Even a past criminal record, Donald was chosen at random for being black. The two Klansmen lured him over by asking him for directions to a local club and forced Donald to get into the car at gunpoint. The men would drive out to another county.
See what I'm saying? Like, cause he ain't got it on him. He was lacking, bro. But see, if it was a nigga like, alright, cool, I got you. Yes! That's what I'm saying. If a nigga was just like, alright, let me just go get something real quick. Let me get something real quick. And then you just go, then it's over. You know what I'm saying? What am I doing, bro?
And then take him to a secluded area in the woods near Mobile Bay. Donald attempted to escape, knocking away Hayes' guns and trying to run into the woods. The men pursued him, attacked him. Hayes wrapped a rope around his neck and strangled him, while Knowles continued beating him with a tree branch. Once Donald had stopped moving, Hayes slit his throat to make sure he was dead. The men left his lifeless body hanging from a tree on Herndon Avenue, across the street from Hayes' house in Mobile.
R.I.P., man, that's some bullshit.
Where it remained until the next morning. The same night, two other Klansmen burnt a cross on the Mobile County Courthouse lawn to celebrate the murder. While the local police chief suspected the Klan, officers first took in 3 suspects in custody based on their possible involvement in a drug deal gone wrong. However, it became quickly evident that this was not the case, leading to the release of the men. Despite that, for nearly 2.5 years, no arrests were made. 1983, the FBI investigated this case.
No arrests were made, so they got away with it. Bro, let me find out they got away with it, bro.
And finally found some links that led them to Henry Hayes and James Knowles. They were both arrested, and Knowles wasted no time in giving a full confession. Knowles was given life in prison for his testimony. Henry Hayes, on the other hand, was convicted of capital murder. The jury voted in favor of life imprisonment, but the judge overruled the jury's verdict and sentenced this man to death.
Okay, good. That nigga, bro.
He was incarcerated in the Holman Correctional Facility in Atmore, Alabama, while on death row. June 6, 1997. Hayes was fried on Yellow Mama, Alabama's infamous electric chair.
Shit.
Now, Hayes was Alabama's first execution since 1913 for a white-on-black crime. Hayes is also the only known KKK member to have been executed in the 20th century for murder of an African American. But the 21st century is a different story. Daniel Lewis Lee. In 1999, Daniel Lewis Lee received a death sentence, while his partner in crime only got life. 4 years before this, Lee's path would cross.
I mean, life is basically death, bro. Like, it really is, because you ain't getting out. So, I mean, like, saying it's only, like, nigga, it's basically the death sentence, bro.
With Chevy Cahoe, who recruited him into his white supremacist organization. And from that point on, Lee's life took a dark turn toward hatred. Things would get a lot worse when Lee lost his left eye during a bar fight in Spokane, Washington. It all started when he called a Native American a racial slur and then got hit by a cue ball. Despite the injury, he refused to wear an eye patch. Among his neo-Nazi skinhead friends, he earned himself a nickname, Psy, short for Cyclops. 1996.
Nigga look like Phase Adapt. Hold on.
Name, Psy, short for Cyclops.
Hey, man. My bad, bro.
Cyclops. 1996. Daniel had a plan to establish a white ethno-state. Now, to make that happen, he needed money and weapons. Him and his father had previously robbed this rich guy named William Mueller.
Don't do it that. Obviously, it's not gonna be like that, bro. Obviously, I just said he looked like him, bro.
So David believed there would be valuable items at Mueller's house. But that wasn't the only reason. Mueller was also a firearms dealer. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity to achieve two goals at once. January 11th, dressed in police raid uniforms, Lee and Cahoe broke into Mueller's house. The pair were looking for guns, ammunition, and cash. After collecting all three, the two men incapacitated Mueller, his wife Nancy Mueller, and her daughter Sarah Elizabeth Powell. Then knocked him unconscious, duct taped plastic bags over their heads so they'd suffocate, and weighed their bodies down with rocks before tossing them into a swamp.
What?
Now for Lee, the horrific murders capped off a life marked by abuse, mental health struggle, and time spent locked in juvie. Also, despite joining Cahoe's militia, he was still described by many as Cahoe's subordinate.
Nigga, was that just Iron Man, bitch?
The faithful dog to the ringleader. As one judge, a prosecutor, and members of Cahoe's family characterized the men's dynamic. According to reports, Cahoe's mother and brother testified that he'd personally killed Sarah because Lee lacked the stomach for it. Most evidence pointed to Cahoe in the planning, initiating, and carrying out of that crime, which seemed bound to condemn Lee to a comparable fate, life in prison, or possibly something less. The prosecution team certainly thought so. It made little sense to pursue the death penalty for Lee when Cahoe had gotten life. Even the victim's family members agreed. The mother of Nancy Mueller, Earlene Branch Peterson, actually pled for clemency on behalf of Lee. She stated,
"I can't see how executing Daniel Lee will honor my daughter in any way. In fact, it's kind of like it dirties her name, because she wouldn't want it, and I don't want it."
What? Why?
But Justice Department officials overruled him, claiming that Lee was too dangerous even for prison. The DOJ insisted that the prosecutors seek capital punishment, and a jury obliged. The decision haunts many of those involved to this day. Lee indeed had other convictions ranging from carrying a concealed weapon to robbery. However, many people believe that these offenses alone weren't sufficient to condemn him, especially when Cahoe received a more lenient punishment. July 14th, 2020, Lee was
that nigga got murked doing COVID.
Executed by lethal injection. When asked for a final statement, he denied committing the crime, stating,
"I didn't do it. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I'm not a murderer."
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
You're killing an innocent man.
I guess.
Lee was pronounced dead at 8:07 a.m. that day. Dylan Roof, 15. 21-year-old Dylan Roof committed the Charleston church shooting in South Carolina. This tragic event
Yeah, see, this is the one I remember. I remember seeing this shit on Twitter and shit.
And resulted in the loss of 9 lives, all of whom were African Americans. Roof is currently on death row awaiting execution.
Look at his shitty ass haircut, bro.
Now, Roof was born in Columbia, South Carolina, to parents who were divorced. According to reports, Roof showed signs of obsessive-compulsive behavior as he grew up, obsessing over things like germs and insisting on a specific hairstyle. During his time in middle school, he started smoking weed and got caught spending money on it. Over the course of 9 years, Roof attended at least 7 schools in 2 counties in South Carolina.
7 schools, bitch?
In 2010, he stopped going to his classes and dropped out of school. Instead, he spent his time with drugs and video games. Ever since he was young, Roof had always held white extremist beliefs and spent a significant amount of time in Charleston. He believed the city had a unique history, being a place where the most enslaved people in the country once lived. Charleston was filled with remnants and buildings that reminded him of a time when the white men were mighty and the masters of their dominions. Roof also had previous run-ins with the police, resulting in 2 arrests just months before the attack. One was a misdemeanor for drug possession, and the other was for trespassing. Despite all of this, nobody ever believed that he was capable of committing such a horrendous act.
What are we watching? What happens to KKK members in prison?
Even when there were so many red flags. According to a childhood friend, Roof went on a rant about killing Trayvon Martin and the 2015 Baltimore protests that were sparked by the death of Freddie Gray while Gray was in police custody. He also often claimed that
blacks were taking over the world.
Roof always told his friends,
no, they aren't. Like, no offense. Like, bro, what? Listen, bro, we're in 2024, and, what? What are you talking about?
Friends and neighbors of his plans to kill people.
You white still run the damn world, bro. Sadly. I'm just keeping it real. Niggas don't want to admit it, but nigga, we don't run shit. We don't run shit, bro. We don't even run shit. Sadly. We still don't run shit. You might think you run shit. All these, I'm telling you, all these black, all these niggas be talking about like they be running shit just because what? You guys got money and we still ain't running shit. Still ain't running shit. The day we do though, where's my lid?
Including a plot to attack the College of Charleston, but his claims weren't taken seriously. That's until he did the unimaginable. June 17, 2015, during a Bible study at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church, Roof gunned down 9 people, all African Americans, including senior pastor and state senator Clementa C. Pinckney, and injured 3 more. After several people identified Roof as the main suspect, he became the center of a manhunt that ended the morning after the shooting with his arrest in Shelby, North Carolina. During questioning, he admitted to carrying out the shooting in hopes of igniting a race war.
I had to do it because somebody had to do something.
Following the incident, a significant collection of photos was seized from Roof's room. These photos were selfies of him wearing the white KKK hood, raising his hand in the air with a Heil Hitler salute, and additionally, a Glock 45 caliber handgun, believed to be the murder weapon, and a Confederate flag were discovered in Roof's car.
Like, just go play Minecraft. Like, I don't get it. How do you think like this, bro? Just go and play a game. Go get some arse. Like, my nigga, go stream. Go make a YouTube video or something, bro. Like, go on TikTok for an hour. Like, how are you this bored? How? How do you think, you know what, I'm gonna go kill innocent black people at a church? Like, bro, what?
June 19th, 2015.
Go watch Jinxie? That was so random. Oh, yeah, you're taking about. Okay.
Roof faced charges of 9 counts of murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and 1 count of possessing.
Like, watch Miniklin. Like, he could have, I could have, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, if you watched me, maybe you would have never done this.
A firearm during the commission of a violent crime. But that's not all. Roof was also indicted on 33 federal charges, including 9 counts of using a firearm to commit murder and 24 counts of violating civil rights, with 18 of the charges carrying the federal death penalty. August 4th, 2016, while awaiting for his
he would be worse
sentence, Roof was beaten by a fellow inmate while detained at the Charleston County Detention Center. The assailant was identified as 25-year-old Dwayne Marion Stafford, who was awaiting trial for charges of first-degree assault and strong-arm robbery. Stafford was able to exit his unlocked cell, pass through a steel door with a narrow vertical window, and go down the stairs to the jail's protective custody unit, reaching Roof. At the time of the attack, Roof was alone after the 2 officers assigned to him left, one being on break and the other called away to do another task. When Stafford saw Roof, he struck blows to the face and body before officers broke up the fight. Roof would have many bruises all over but not seriously injured, and was allowed to return after being examined by medical personnel. Surprisingly, Roof decided not to press charges against Stafford. January 10th, 2017, The jury found Roof guilty of all charges, recommending the death penalty. The following day, the judge formally sentenced Roof to death. Dylan Roof is currently serving time at the U.S. Penitentiary USP Terre Haute in Indiana, the location that houses the federal death row and execution chamber for men.
What the f is that? Hey man, KKK niggas, bro. Come.